Vide Ton Sac, the new podcast by Nightline France, which gives a voice to students. Welcome to the third episode of the How Are You Vraiment podcast season here on Vide Ton Sac. Today, B from Nightline Paris communications team is interviewing Caitlín Burke, a first-year ULIP student and YouTuber. Caitlín will be sharing her student experience in Paris, in and out of lockdown, her thoughts about mental health, and her YouTube story. We hope you enjoy!
Hello, Caitlín. Thank you so much for joining me on this podcast.
Thank you for having me.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good, actually. Had a bit of a journey here. I got off at the wrong stop. I thought it was really late, but yeah, I'm good.
You made it.
I did. How are you?
I'm good, yeah, ticking along. And so would you like to just introduce yourself a little bit more, say where you're from and your degree and everything and how you've come to Paris?
Yeah, so I'm Caitlín. I study French studies at University of London here in Paris. And I came to Paris because every time I looked at a degree in the UK, I was always just like excited by the year abroad in the third year. So when I found out I could just come for the whole 3 years, I thought I would come. And yeah, I've been here since September of last year. And yeah, I've just been doing my degree, doing my YouTube stuff, and yeah, just having a good time.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, why not do the whole 3 years here?
Exactly.
Yeah, I completely agree. So when you first arrived, how did you find settling in? Well, how have you been finding settling into Paris? It's been a little while now, but...
Yeah, I mean, when I first got here, it was definitely like, it was kind of scary because I'd taken a gap year. So a lot of the French that I had learned from A-level, I kind of like lost confidence a little bit, especially with speaking. So it was definitely like a little bit overwhelming when I first got here. I was like, oh my goodness, like I've forgotten so much. But it only took like a few weeks because like everyone at ULIP was so nice and I like made friends really quickly, and then it just like got so much easier like getting around and stuff. And also I'm from London, so coming from a city to another city, like it wasn't that different for me. So that bit was like completely fine. But now I feel like just living here for like the small amount of time that I've been here, I think I've definitely gained back some confidence with like speaking French a little bit more. But yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, that sounds about right. It takes a little bit of time to adjust, but as you say, yeah, I also come from a big city, and I think there's a little, maybe less culture shock going on, but
a little bit, yeah. There was still some culture shocks, but I'd kind of like researched so much about what living in Paris is like and watched so many videos on YouTube that it was almost not a shock. It was like I was expecting it. So yeah.
Had you been to Paris much before you moved?
I'd only been once in 2018, which is when I went to look at the uni.
Right, yeah, exactly. So, same for me.
Yeah, so yeah, I'd only been once. But I just remember when I came that one time, I just like knew I wanted to live here at some point. So yeah.
No, I had the exact same experience where I hadn't been to Paris before, so like the open day was very much opened my eyes.
Exactly,
yeah, massively. Oh, cool. So obviously you've come to Paris at quite an interesting, difficult time.
Yeah.
What's it been like being a student during the whole lockdown situation and COVID?
It's interesting because when we first got here, like everything was pretty much open. So we had like quite a normal freshers week considering everything. But the thing is that only lasted probably about a month and a little bit. And then we ended up going into lockdown. And I think, the lockdown was interesting because we'd had uni in person, and then all of a sudden it switched to being online. And then we ended up having to like work at home and like basically do everything in the same space, like work, relax, like socialize. Like it was, it's very interesting. But yeah, it's been funny because we've just been switching. I feel like the rules have been changing so much.
They have.
So it's like there's been a lot of changes happening.
Yeah, so you've really had to adapt to quite a lot.
Exactly, yeah. Adapting quickly.
Yeah, like no other first year you've had to adapt more than any of me or my friends did at university. So I really do admire you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I have been told that, I mean, where I work, they told me that like right now is like a good time to be in Paris almost, because it's like there's not any tourists, so a lot of like the touristy spots are like much quieter, so you can like see them quite easily, and it's, you know, it's fine. But also I think it's, I mean, at least we're coming here with all of this happening, and then it can only get better. Yes. Whereas I think like the year above me came when everything was like normal and amazing, and then it kind of all just went a bit crazy.
That's a very good point. Yeah, so hopefully during your degree there'll be a grand finale towards the end where you can do, you know, all the things we miss doing. And
exactly.
No, that's a really, really positive spin that you put there. Nice one. Yeah. So yeah, but I mean, it's just been strange, hasn't it? Everyone's experienced lockdown in different ways, and
exactly.
Kind of moving between home and here. You know, you get a sense of how your friends and family at home might be doing, and compared to how you're living your life here. And I mean, has it been tough being away from certain, you know, friends or family in London while you've been in Paris?
Yeah. I mean, so I don't really get homesick that much. Like last term, I didn't get homesick at all. And I think that's just because it was like everything was new, and like I'd already been in lockdown at home for so long, just in my room. So I was like happy to be out. Like I was like having the best time. And this term, I haven't really had homesick either, but like a couple of weeks ago, like a massive wave of it just hit me. And I think it was just because there was like so much going on in the news, like with France possibly going on the red list, and like it was all just very stressful, and I just thought, oh my gosh, like what if I can't go home? And I had a Eurostar booked to go home in April for Easter, and I ended up having to cancel it, like move it to summer, because with all the testing and everything, it would cost me about £400 just to go home and come back. So I was like, I can't be spending that much money, like it's just not worth it as a student, like we don't have that much money. So it's been hard, like a little bit, knowing that like I won't be going home until summer. But when I think about it, it's not that far away. Like, and also homesickness comes in waves. Like it'll hit you and then like you'll be absolutely fine, like after like a day or something. So
no, definitely. I can relate, because I mean, I've been living in Paris for a few years now, and obviously I've had little breaks back at home in the holidays, and but that feeling of the choice of going home, kind of feeling like it's almost been removed. I think that's what got me as well.
Definitely.
I think if it was perfectly easy to get home right now and affordable and so on, I don't think I'd be at all homesick. It's just when you know that maybe you can't, it kind of makes you it feels a lot more, I don't know, just not necessarily isolating, sort of
because there's so many people here, but it's just difficult.
It's
you
hard.
Can't go back.
But I mean, you've been keeping busy by the looks of things, as well as like with university and the work that you're doing on YouTube. I think Paris seems to be a really good place to be making videos, and I know you're really into filming, and you know really, really good at it.
Thank you.
Like can we talk about YouTube for a second?
Of course.
What kind of what kind of messages are you trying to put across on your platform, and why do you have a YouTube platform, I guess?
Well, I never really like expected it to become a platform. Like I kind of just made it because I feel like I have a bad memory, and like I don't want to forget like all these like amazing memories that I'm creating. So that was kind of why I made it, because I just like love the feeling of nostalgia. Like I've always kept a journal and stuff like that. Like I just always love looking back on things. So I just thought I'd make it because I could just turn these memories into something nice to watch. And also because I'm so interested in filmmaking and all of that. It's like a really good way for me to like work on those skills. That's kind of why I made it. And then I didn't really expect it to become like an actual platform. I was kind of just doing it. And then like all of a sudden it just, one video just like blew up. Like the algorithm just said, yes, we're going to push this video out. And then, I don't really know what happened. I can't really wrap my head around it, to be honest, but
Oh, it's interesting how these things work.
It really is. I was actually on 1K subscribers and then like for months as well. And then all of a sudden it was just going up like 1K a day. And I was like, what is going on? It was so weird.
And so how many subscribers do you have now?
I'm on just under 15,000 subscribers now.
I mean, that's a lot of people. I would imagine there's quite a lot of student, following, and maybe students like ourselves who have done year abroads or are thinking about it. Who are maybe based in the UK and kind of watching your experience in Paris. Or,
I think there's a lot of people like from the UK watching it because, I mean, I don't really think a lot of people know about ULIP really. Like it's, I feel like it's always advertised on clearing. Like a lot of people go through clearing, but it's not really something like my French teacher didn't even know about it. So I think, it's not something that's really known about very much. So I think that's why it's like maybe attracting a little bit of an audience. People like want to know more, and also
mysterious.
Yeah, and I feel like people can see like the ULIP advertisements or whatever, but they don't really know what it's like, or So I think maybe that's why. And a lot of people have like messaged me saying that they've like changed their university plan. Like they don't want to study in the UK anymore. They want to like study abroad. So I think it's good that people are finding other options. But
definitely.
Oh,
that's really cool. Like to have had that impact on other people. And I think if you can do it, coming and studying in a different city, especially to learn another language, is really, really effective and really fun. Like,
it's so fun.
I think, we should talk more about it and kind of tell people in the UK or wherever, like, you can come and do it, even if, I mean, Paris is a really expensive place to live, but you can au pair, you can come here rent-free.
Yeah.
And there are ways of making it actually
There's bursaries
work.
As well.
Yeah.
Which is good.
So that's really cool. Like, congratulations.
Thank you.
And I mean, I guess as your platform grows or whatever, I don't know if you have any kind of, now that that's happened, whether you've changed your attitude or like have ideas, I don't know, for other projects that you want to do, or just going to keep doing your thing and see.
I don't really know. I think I definitely want to post more. Like I feel like I wasn't posting that consistently before. I was just kind of doing it when I wanted. But now I definitely feel more motivated to upload more and maybe promote some things that like I want to promote, since there's like more of an audience now. So that would be fun to do. Like even talking about Nightline. I think that's something along those lines.
Well, we would really appreciate that. And we aim to kind of reach as many students as possible and help as many people as we can, and also as a free service, it's again tapping into that affordable, finding the affordable routes in Paris for students.
Exactly.
I mean, so in terms of mental health, like that's really nice that you would want to share that kind of thing on your channel. I mean, I don't know if you have before, or is this going to be a new avenue?
I think I touched on it a little bit in some of my first couple videos, which like aren't that popular, but it was like in lockdown in the UK. I think I talked a little bit about mental health.
Yes.
And how like that shift of going into lockdown was kind of affecting everyone in like different ways. Because I know I got myself into a bit of a rut in the first lockdown where I was like forcing myself to exercise every day and like just do all this stuff, and it just it wasn't healthy, like it wasn't sustainable. So I have spoken about it a little bit, but I definitely do want to speak about it more, because I think especially moving to another country, like you don't know where these resources are, and it can be quite difficult to go to someone at uni, I feel like. So having this kind of service, I think, would be really helpful, because it's like, it's anonymous, isn't it?
Yeah, it's totally anonymous.
So I think that's really helpful. So
cool. And how would you describe like mental health, as in what is mental health to you, and why do you think it's important? I know you're almost explaining, I feel already, but
it's so important. I think it's one of those things where, like, if your mental health becomes not so great, that also impacts your physical health. Like, I think they're both very intertwined. Like, if one of them is a bit off, that affects the other one as well. And I think that as like teenagers and young adults, I think there's definitely like more conversation around it now, but which is good, because I remember when like I was at school, you'd go to talk to someone, they'd just put it off to like teenage hormones or whatever, which people have even said now, like when you're like 20. But yeah, I think it's really good that it's being spoken about more, because like if you don't have your mental health, like what do you have really? Like, that's what I always think, like your health is your wealth sort of thing. Like it's literally the most important thing. I can't think of anything more important, to be honest, because it's like the only thing that you have.
Yeah, I really like that, your health is your wealth. And that's a brilliant way of putting it. And yeah, you know, we're really always just with ourselves the rest of our lives, aren't we? Ourselves and our internal voice, and that's,
you can have all these material things, but if like it's not okay up there, then you're not like, it doesn't matter, does it? All these things that you have, like all these external factors, like they don't matter. So yeah, that's why it's so important, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, and so how do you envisage like kind of trying to maintain your mental health over the coming months? I mean, you've got your exam season coming up. COVID's still kind of taking over our lives. Hopefully we're on the home stretch. And yeah, how do you plan to kind of maintain your wealth and health?
I think it's kind of just like taking each day as it comes sort of thing, like, and also having a routine, not a routine that's too strict. Like for me, that doesn't really work. But like for me, it's like getting up at like a similar time every morning. Like I like getting up early. I know that getting up early makes me feel good, even though sometimes I don't want to do it. So I think just doing things that like I know make me feel good, like getting up every morning, like around 8 or 9, is really good for me. So I like doing that, and just eating well, like, but also eating what I want is really good. Like that makes me feel good. And just not putting too much pressure on myself, because obviously like there's a lot of uni work and everything, but we are living in the middle of a panini. So it's like we shouldn't be putting like you should cut yourself some slack, you know? Yeah. Like especially there's things are always changing as well, like in these unprecedented times or whatever, as we keep saying. So I just think it's important to just like really just sit back and be like, wow, like you really did that. Like you're doing everything you're doing, like you're doing in the middle of like a global pandemic. And also if you're like, you know, not doing that well because of everything that's going on, like that's literally like, that makes sense. Like, like don't beat yourself up about it. Like there are so many people struggling. Like I'm so lucky and privileged to be in Paris and like be able to like being at university, and like just there are so many people that are being affected like so badly by this global event. So I think it's just don't beat yourself up, don't put pressure on yourself to be doing loads of stuff. I remember at the start people kept saying like, oh, you have so much time now, like write a book, like like do all this stuff. Like it's just not like, no. You don't have to. Just because you have all this time, like no. But I do think, I mean, especially with the UK, the vaccine being rolled out, like hopefully, like it looks like things are looking up. So yeah, I hope that things will get better. I think they will. I'm quite hopeful. Me too. I'm starting to feel more hopeful. I've definitely been through peaks and troughs where you know, but I think we can see, you know, the light at the end of the tunnel kind of. But I think, you know, what you've tapped into there is really important, that balance between setting some routine but having that flexibility to, you know, if you know one day you feel like doing something else, you allow some space for spontaneity and adaptability, and you know, not getting too fixated on it being perfect. We live on a floating rock, like it literally doesn't matter, like it's fine.
I think it's really important. I like to also kind of step back and try and have that perspective again. I think Do you know, it sounds like you've got a really good balanced approach there, and I strive to share these, outlooks as well myself, so. Well, I mean, is there anything else you'd like to add while we have you here? But other than that, I think I've asked everything I wanted to ask for today.
Yeah, well, just thank you for having me, and I think Nightline's a really great service, and I hope that this can reach some people if they need it. And yeah, that's it really.
Brilliant.
Had a great chat.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me on.
No, thank you so much. And goodbye from us.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed that episode. A big thank you to Caitlín for sharing her story with us. Stay tuned for our next episode where B will interview Ankana Chowdhury, a business student and YouTuber. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on our latest content. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Nightline France. Take care and feel free to call Nightline if you need to talk. We're here for you.